Vaginal gas is also known as vaginal flatulence, and this is a common condition amongst women, particularly younger women. Now, unfortunately, there's a myth that Kegel exercises are the best and only remedy for stopping vaginal gas, when in actual fact, there are a number of treatments available to women, and some of which are really readily available and you can access straight away. Hi, my name is Michelle, and today I'm going through 3 ways of stopping vaginal gas. Now, the first way is a really accessible, simple remedy. Second way has been shown to be the most effective in the scientific research. And third, I'm going to go through 2 physiotherapy treatments for vaginal gas, or for stopping vaginal gas as well. So what is vaginal gas? I think we need to have an understanding of what this is to know which is the most appropriate treatment. And perhaps this is one reason why Kegel exercises haven't always been the most effective treatment for all women. If we think about the anatomy of the vagina, the front and back walls of the vagina normally sit together like that. However, in some women, they sit slightly apart and there's normally some air within the vagina. During exercise or during physical intimacy, air can be forced inside that space, and it can become trapped. So that when you move, or with activity or with intimacy, it's forcefully expelled, and when it moves out, the front and back walls vibrate. And it's the vibration that causes that sound, the vibration of the vaginal walls, or perhaps the entrance. So I think you can see it's to do with the shape, but also to do with the stiffness of the vagina. So some women will have floppier walls of their vagina, and there's a particular treatment that can help that. Or for other women, this might be just their normal anatomy that actually just causes vaginal air trapping, or there's another condition too that I'll go through in just a moment. So the very first treatment that I'd like to talk about, as recommended in the literature, is simply the use of a tampon. Now, you can visualise the tampon is going to occupy some space in the vagina. My thinking is it might occupy that space, perhaps prevent air entry during exercise, and it might also too create a little bit of stretch on the vaginal walls. So for some women, this might be a useful remedy to try, and I'd love to hear from you below in the comments if you've found this is an effective remedy for you. Obviously, this can't be used during physical intimacy, but it's something that might be worth trying for exercise and activity to stop vaginal gas. The second treatment that I'd like to talk about is one that has been found to be the most effective in the scientific or the recent scientific literature for stopping vaginal gas. Now, this is the use of a support pessary. Take a look here. A support pessary is a device that's actually positioned high up inside the vagina, and it's often used for women with pelvic organ prolapse conditions, and it creates a stretch on the walls of the vagina. So it stiffens those walls, it's used to lift the pelvic organs up as well, or support the top of the vagina. So that in doing so, that stretch that it creates to the vaginal walls can actually make those walls stiffer, less floppy, and then obviously less prone to vibrating when the air exits the vagina. So a pessary device, or pessary devices come in all shapes and different sizes and different designs as well. Some can be used, for example, the ring pessary that I just showed you, during intimacy. And this is a device that is usually fitted by a pelvic floor physiotherapist or a gynecologist. So this is something that you might like to discuss with your doctor or with your pelvic floor physiotherapist as a treatment option, particularly if you're suffering from perhaps prolapse, or you know that you've had large babies, delivered large babies, and the walls of the vagina feel floppy. That might be contributing to your condition. Now, the third and final thing that I'd like to go through is physiotherapy treatment. And there's 2 options here. The first is Kegel exercises, and Kegel exercises have had mixed reports in the scientific literature about their potential benefit for stopping gas. Some scientific literature or some scientific research has found them to be beneficial and others haven't. So there's mixed reviews. And I think it's partly because we've used that as a one treatment fits all when that's not necessarily the case. Kegel exercises will actually strengthen more around the opening or the entrance of the vagina, and just inside strengthening those pelvic floor muscles. So this can be a useful technique for stopping vaginal gas, perhaps by stopping air entry. for some particular women with weak pelvic floor muscles. And really, most women have nothing to lose by actually going ahead with Kegel exercises. And this might be something that you approach a pelvic floor physiotherapist about, or you can refer to my video above on how to do Kegel exercises. The second physiotherapy option that I want to mention is an important one because I think it's not really recognised or well recognised that tight pelvic floor muscles can also contribute to vaginal gas. And this is commonly experienced in younger women, and some women have not even had childbirth. So what happens with that condition is the pelvic floor muscles are very tight and the opening of the pelvic floor, the vagina might be very tight. And so then you can see how air can get trapped during activities or during intimacy. So pelvic floor physiotherapy treatment for tight or spasmed pelvic floor muscles involves pelvic floor relaxation and also other techniques that we as physiotherapists use to help perhaps stretch the tight pelvic floor muscles or help encourage them to relax. So that might also be an option. And if you're not sure, if you see a pelvic floor physiotherapist, they will be able to assess whether your pelvic floor muscles are tight or lax, in which case that can determine the particular type of physiotherapy treatment that might be more appropriate for managing vaginal gas. So I think you can see from all of this that there are a number of possible remedies for vaginal gas, not just Kegel exercises, although we won't rule those out altogether, and particularly the use of a tampon, which might be readily available to you at the moment. So you could try these remedies, and this is not a condition that you necessarily need to treat unless it's bothersome for you, and it also might be a condition that you like to speak with your doctor about too if it's particularly bothersome as well. So if this information has been helpful for you today, I'd really be grateful as always if you could give it a like down below, because then that encourages YouTube to recommend this information to other women who are suffering vaginal gas and might benefit from the information as well. As always, I thank you for your time and for watching today. Always appreciate your comments below. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.